Hi, this is Stan, the Annuity Man. Welcome to my webinar, which we have renamed as Staminars, and S-T-A-M is Stan, the Annuity Man. So Staminar, and this Staminar is on qualified longevity annuity contracts, QLACs as they're called, and they've been around just for a couple years, since 2014. Not a lot of people know about them, but my prediction is this annuity type, and there's all kinds of different annuity types, will be the number one selling annuity type in the country in 5 years. I'm the only one saying that, but of course I'm right. So let's move on and let's go into qualified longevity annuity contracts. Just a little bit about me if you don't know who I am. My name's Stan the Annuity Man. I do not have a last name. I'm going to officially change that to the Annuity Man so that when I go through an airport, they can page me, Stan the Annuity Man. My wife's not on board, but everything's a function of sales, as we know. So I am the top independent agent in the country. If not that, I am the tallest. At 6'6". I'm licensed in all 50 states. I've published 7 books. Yes, I do write. It's cheaper than therapy. I've got an 8th one on the way. And I've had over 400 articles published on every website known to man, Wall Street Journal on down. So all of those articles can be found on my site. The books, if you want them, you can get them from me. So let's kind of go through the books. My latest book is on indexed annuities. I literally had to throw up while I was doing it. No, I actually like indexed annuities, but they're just sold improperly. I mean, this is where all the gunslingers and criminals and sociopaths end up selling just this. And they are good products. They're CD products, but I've written a book on it, easy read, on indexed annuities. QLACs, which is what we're talking today. This was the first book on the owner's manual side that I wrote. Started while I was in Chicago, of all places. It kind of hit me that when it first came out in 2014, I was such a fan of this product and still am. So I wrote an owner's manual on that. I've also written one on immediate annuities, multi-year guarantee annuities, which is the annuity industry version of a CD, income riders, which are attached, income benefits that are attached to variable and indexed annuities primarily. But they're so complex and they're so oversold and missold and overhyped that I actually wrote a book on it so you could fully understand what these things are. And deferred income annuities, which are called longevity annuities as well, and qualified longevity annuity contracts, in essence, is a DIA, is a deferred income annuity, but we'll talk about just the minor differences and nuances between the two. The first original book was the Annuity Stanifesto, published a long time ago, but these are all of the books that are currently out there. And if you want free copies and there's no catch or asterisk and no one's going to show up at your door, no one's going to call you, you're not going to get bugged, I'll literally just mail them to you. Okay? So you can either go to my website at stantheannuityman.com and sign up, or you can just send me an email here at stan@stantheannuityman.com and just shipping address, please. I'm going to mail them in a gold foil package. You'll think you're watching Willy Wonka, if you remember the Willy Wonka show where they had the golden ticket. It's going to come in a golden package to you in most cases, unless I change it. So I shouldn't say that. Right now, as of the recording of this, you're going to get a golden package. It might change. But, email me at stan@stantheannuityman. If you followed me at all, I'm all about contractual guarantees. I do not do hypotheticals, theoreticals, back-tested, projected, hopeful, agent return scenarios. I don't do pie in the sky. I do Armageddon, worst-case scenario. Will do, not might do. You own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. So contractual guarantees only. Now, with that being said, what happens when you're contractual guarantees only? Then annuities are commodities, which they are, and you shop all carriers for the highest contractual guarantees available for your specific situation. Okay, let's talk about some of the things I give away and makes me unique out there. Comdex rankings. Everybody knows about AM Best and Moody's, Standard & Poor's, and Fitch. Those are the 4 rating services that look at annuity companies and the claims paying ability of those carriers. And by the way, if you buy an annuity, including a QLAC, it's only as good as the company backing up those guarantees. So you got to look at that. Don't just look at one. On my site, because I'm such a giver, give, never take, I give away Comdex rankings, which if you go to the site, this looks busy, but look at the very bottom where it says download your free Comdex report. Every month we update this. I pay a ton of money for it. I give it away to people so that they can make an informed decision. And this is what it looks like. If you can see AM Best, S&P, Moody's, and Fitch. Okay, you can see all of those ratings. And there's not a person on the planet that knows what AA, AAA, AAA. It sounds like we all have an alcohol problem. No pun, no offense to anybody. But hey, here's the thing. Comdex has said, okay, we're going to take all 4 of these rating services, and we're going to take them all, put them through our really fancy algorithm, and everybody's going to get a score from 1 to 100, 100 being perfect. So look to the right-hand side, Comdex ranking, 100 all the way down. So you can now look at the companies and say, forget AM Best, or forget S&P, forget Moody's, forget Fitch. Let's look at the Comdex ranking. I give that away for free. Please use this as a resource, okay? All Annuity Solutions. And, I hope Fisher Investments is, and I like those guys, great guys. I hope they're listening, because you can't say I hate all annuities, and you can't say I'd rather go to hell than own an annuity. Why? Because there's so many types of annuities. That's like saying I'd rather go to hell than go to a restaurant. Or I'd rather go to hell than wear a pair of shoes. That's crazy. You can't hate all shoes. You can't hate all restaurants. You can't hate all annuities. Annuities are contracts. If you hate annuities, you hate Social Security. If you hate annuities, you hate your pension. And you don't do that. So there's only 2 questions that you need to ask and answer to find out, even if you need one. The first one is, what do you want the money to contractually do? Keyword contractually. Second question, when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? Now with QLACs, we're going to ask this question as well. What do you want the money to contractually do? When do you want the contractual guarantees to start? Notice, I'm not talking about hypothetical, theoretical. I'm talking about contractual. These are the only 2 questions. This is how simple annuity buying should be, okay? Annuities only fit into 4 places in your portfolio, all right? The first is legacy. Second is income. Third is long-term care. 4 is safety. Notice there's not market growth there. Listen up, everybody. Do not buy annuities for market growth. If you want market growth, don't buy an annuity. I don't care if it's a variable annuity or index annuity. I don't care what the agent says. I don't care what the hypothetical says. I don't care what the back-tested says. I don't care. Do not buy annuities for market growth. Buy them for the contractual guarantees. I've come up with an easy-to-understand acronym to understand if you even need an annuity, with understanding also that annuities are transfer risk products. You're transferring the risk to the annuity company to solve for a specific situation, okay? That acronym is PIL. Everybody repeat after me, PIL. One more time, PIL. P stands for principal protection. I stands for income for life. L stands for legacy, and the other L stands for long-term care. So principal protection, income for life, legacy, and long-term care. Hey, there's no G. There's no M for market, or there's no G for growth. This is it. So if you want to contractually solve for one or more of these problems, then you might be a candidate for an annuity. And by the way, there's a bunch of types. That's the reason I've got all these owner's manuals on different types of annuities. So PIL, remember the PIL, okay? So let's talk about QLACs. Where do QLACs fit in the PIL? QLACs are income for life products. That's what they were put on the planet for, all right? Let's talk about the history of QLACs real quickly and go over that. In 2014, our friends at the IRS, and yes, everybody here, their friend is the IRS. IRS and the Treasury Department said, you know what? We need to start convincing the youngsters of the world to plan for income down the road. And it's kind of a shot across the bow to Social Security means testing and what's going to happen to Social Security. They want people to, within a 401k or whatever, to have a choice, like a QLAC, so they can plan for future income. And in essence, the IRS and Treasury wanted the 401ks, the defined contribution market, to have these QLACs, and some do, and they're slowly being implemented into retirement plans. But the true winners are you people out there with traditional IRAs, non-Roths, traditional, because it's a DIA structure. A deferred income annuity is also called a longevity annuity. QLAC, LA is longevity annuity. It's a longevity annuity. It's a future pension where you can defer out for a specific period of time, and then you can have a pension-type payment for the rest of your life. The difference with QLACs and DIAs is DIAs can be used in IRAs, but only up to age 70 and a half. From age 70 and a half on, it turns into a QLAC. You need to use a QLAC. And so the good news is some 401ks are actually offering this. So in a 401k, you might have a mutual fund choice and also a QLAC, because the youngsters of the world need to start planning for future income, okay? So why would you consider a traditional IRA? Why would your traditional IRA need a QLAC or should have a QLAC? So let's go over some of the top reasons for that, okay? Number one, it's a future pension guarantee. I mean, QLACs are a transfer risk pension plan that starts at a future date of which you tell the annuity company when you want it to start. So it's a future pension income guarantee. What I like about the QLAC, take that back, love about a QLAC, is that you can have an IRA, but you can take your spouse and attach them to the payment. In other words, you can say, all right, it's my IRA, it's in my name, but I want my spouse to get a joint lifetime income. So when my Learjet hits the mountain and she's driving back from the funeral crying, she knows or he knows that that income stream is going to be uninterrupted and unchanged because I set up joint lifetime income using QLAC. Okay? Love this part. No annual fees, no moving parts. So all the people go, well, I don't like annuities because they're such high, they're fee high, the high fees. Whatever. Wrong. QLACs, no moving parts, no annual fees. Period. Now, do agents like me get paid a commission for selling a QLAC? You darn tootin' we do. Now, because they're so simplistic, they are small, and that's okay because who cares? I'm hoping that commissions all come down to the same level for all products anyway, but that's another discussion. But there's no annual fees. Nothing's going to be deducted from your account, okay? Here's a big one too. With QLACs, you can legally, no gray area, legally lower your required minimum distributions because the money used in a QLAC, okay, is not part of your RMD calculation. Big deal. Now, are your savings on RMDs going to be so big that you just can't believe it? No. It's going to be small. It's not going to be great, but it's legal. And if you want to lower your RMDs, QLACs are the only product, by the way, only product to do that. Now, here's the rules. Right now, the rules are you can use $125,000 or 25% of your total IRA assets, whichever is less. So if you have $1 million in an IRA, all your IRAs, $125,000. If you have $500,000 in all of your IRAs, $125,000. Easy math question. If you have $100,000 total in your IRA, how much can you use? 25% of that, so $25,000. So now, will these limitations go up? Yes. The IRS and our friends at the IRS and the Department of Treasury have indicated they will raise the rules and the limitations, but right now it's a 125 or 25% of your total IRA assets. Now, one of the things I like about QLACs is you can defer the income later in your IRA, and that's a really good way to combat inflation. People always say, well, Stan, why wouldn't I just, buy a COLA, a cost of living adjustment rider, or a CPIU rider attached to an annuity? Well, annuity companies have the big buildings for a reason. They do not give anything away, correct? They don't. Nod your head. They do not give anything away. They have the big buildings for a reason. They have the big logos on the Learjets for a reason. All they do when you attach a COLA to an annuity is they just lower the payment. But the way to attack inflation, and who knows where it's going, right? But the way to do it is have income starting at a future date. So QLACs allow you to do that as well. And here's the rules. You can start the payments as early as 71, but they make you start the payments at 85. Now, everybody calls me and says, Stan, I don't want to defer up to 85. Well, then don't. You can start it at 72 or 73 or 74 or 75, whatever. But at age 85, they make you take the payments from a QLAC. So between 71 and 85, everybody be very clear on this. It doesn't have to be 85. And you can literally ladder these things. You could say, Stan, I want half starting at age 80 and half started at age 85. You can do that. You can customize it. That's what I'm here for, is to help you put together that type of a plan. All right? And here's the big one. Everybody's like, well, Stan, I hate annuities because the insurance company keeps the money when I die. Wrong. You're wrong. Okay? Now, can you structure a life-only policy where your Learjet hits the mountain and the money goes poof? Yes, of course you can. It's the highest payment because you're taking on some of that risk. But with QLACs, most people that buy them are buying them so that 100% of the money, regardless of the situation, goes to the listed beneficiaries. It's going to pay you for life. You can live to 190, it's going to pay you. But when your Learjet hits the mountain, whatever's in the account goes to the beneficiaries. If your Learjet hits the mountain before the income starts, 100% goes to the beneficiaries. You just have to indicate to me, Stan, I don't want those evil annuity dudes to keep the money. I want to make sure that I have two things, lifetime income and I want to make sure that my family, whether it's me, my spouse, or whoever's the beneficiaries, gets the money and the annuity company doesn't get it. Let's be very clear. You can do this. This is how we can structure it for you. Okay? So let's talk about QLACs and DIAs. What's the difference? What's the similarities? QLAC is really a DIA. It's the same structure. If you look at the policies, same policy, except one says QLAC on the top, one says DIA, right? Both of them are future pension plans. QLACs can only be used in traditional IRAs and other specified retirement plans. But for this conversation, this seminar, we're talking about traditional IRAs because, I do not deal with qualified plans. I only deal with consumers in all 50 states. So we're talking about traditional IRAs. We're not talking about Roths. Now, QLACs can be used from a 70.5. You turn on the income from a 70.5 to 85. You can use a DIA inside of an IRA. You just have to turn on the income at 70.5. Okay. And with that being said, DIAs can also be used outside of an IRA. Okay, you don't have to use these things in an IRA. A deferred income annuity can be used outside of an IRA, and there's really no age restrictions or anything on that, or there's no restrictions on when you turn on the income stream. Okay, so like I said, DIAs are called longevity annuities. Let's go over the funding rules again, just so you're clear. The lesser of $125,000 or 25% of your total IRA assets. If each spouse has an IRA, you are allowed $125,000 each, or $250,000 total if you qualify. So let's just say you each have a $500,000 IRA, then you would both qualify for $125,000 QLAC, and you could both set it up to where both of you are joint income annuitants on that. You don't have to be, but you can set that up. Like I said before, the dollar limitations were put in place in 2014. Will those change? Yeah, I think they will. They're going to go higher. And if they go higher, then we just add more money to it, right? We go shop for the highest guarantee and have more money to it. Now, there are three primary reasons why a QLAC actually works well in your traditional IRA. In my opinion, when you put an income floor in place, you're a better trader, you're a better investor because you have that income taken care of, and you know what I mean when I'm saying that. So the first reason of the three is future lifetime income for you or you and your spouse. It can start as early as age 71, as I said. You have to turn it on at age 85, so you can choose any time in between there when you want to turn it on. And by the way, when you're issued a QLAC policy, you have, at the time that you fill out the policy, you have to indicate when you're going to turn on the income stream. But you get the opportunity to change that start date one time during the policy. Let me repeat that. At the time of application, you have to indicate when you plan on turning on the income stream so that they can price it and guarantee it. But during that policy, you can change it one time. Okay? Now, obviously, the longer the insurance company keeps the money, the more they're going to enhance the payout. Okay, it just makes sense, right? They're holding on. The money's cooking. They're going to reward you for giving them that money earlier. People always say, Stan, is it the right time to buy an annuity? There's no good answers, just a bunch of bad sales pitches out there. There's no good answers to that. Either the guarantee makes sense to you or it does not. You can't time it. And remember, you can add the spouse as a joint annuitant, and the annuity company is on the hook to pay regardless of how long you live. People say, Stan, what's my return on investment? What's my ROI on a QLAC? I don't know that, but I will tell you, after I sing my song at your funeral, and it's going to be a cappella, I don't need a band. After I sing the song, I'm going to tell the ROI to your beneficiaries after the song is over. There's no ROI till you die. I don't know that. It's a true transfer of risk to the carrier to pay you for the rest of your life, regardless of how long you live, period. So don't try to do an apples to apples. Well, Stan, if I put money in a Vanguard S&P fund, no, stop, okay? We're talking about contracts. This is a contract. It's a transfer of risk pension plan. You cannot say apples to apples with investments. Annuities aren't investments. They're contracts. And if you don't believe me, buy one and read the contract. Or you can say, Stan, send me a specimen policy. You can read the contract. The second thing is lowering your RMDs. For QLACs, this is a big one. Okay, I like this. I don't really like paying taxes. I always tell people, I hope one day that I'm rich enough to be just really liberal. I mean, like a real big, because that means I have a ton of money. But up until then, I'm going to try to pay as little taxes legally as I can. This allows you to do it because the QLAC amount is not used to calculate your RMDs. So 125,000 the max you can put in. Remember, 125,000 or 25% of your total IRA assets, whichever is less, and that's deducted from the total. And by the way, when you turn on income from a QLAC, that income stream that comes from the QLAC fully satisfies and covers the requirement of distributions for that money that's in the QLAC. Now, very important point. It does not carry over to any other part of your RMDs. In other words, the money coming from the QLAC, the income that's coming out of your IRA from the QLAC covers the QLAC dollar amount, but if there's any overage, it doesn't cover the non-annuity assets within your IRA. Let's be very clear about that. So let's look at this RMD. I'm talking about RMD as a lower your RMDs example. Let's kind of look at the math of it so you can put it in your head on how it works. Okay, let's just say you have a $500,000 traditional IRA. I'm just doing this for easy math, okay, which means that you qualify for $125,000. So 25% of your IRA total are $125,000, whichever is less, non-Roth, so $125,000. So 25% is $125,000. You buy the QLAC, defer it whenever you want. Remember what? You can turn it on at 71 or So 500,000 minus 125 is 375. So when you go to do your RMD calculations, you're going to calculate it on 375. Now, people ask me all the time, this is Stan, Mr. Annuity Man. What if I'm past 71? What if I'm 75 or 76, 78? Can I still do this? Can I still take advantage of this rule? The answer is yes, you can. You can. It doesn't matter age. Once you buy the QLAC, that dollar amount from the QLAC is deducted from that next year's RMD calculations. All right, and then the third thing, we talked about, lifetime income and then lowering your RMDs. What's the third thing that just kind of slap your head and go, man, this is not a bad deal? Legacy. Say, wait a minute, Stan, legacy. Yeah, legacy. And here's what it is. To me, I've been married for 29 years. I'm going to tell you right now, she should be leaving me right now. I mean, if you met my wife, I'm married way above myself. She should leave me, but she hasn't. So the legacy I can leave for her is within my IRA, I can set up a QLAC, which I have, by the way, so that's joint life payout. So when she comes back from the funeral and she is crying because I'm gone and she can't imagine life without me, okay, which is hard to believe. She'd be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? She knows that IRA has a QLAC in it that will set up joint life, so that income that we've been getting is going to be uninterrupted and unchanged for the rest of her life. And we also set it up to when she passes away, that the kids get whatever money is left in the account. The evil annuity company doesn't get any. So in other words, remember, QLACs can be structured so that 100% of the money goes to somebody in your family. You don't have to do that. You can say, Stan, I hate my family. They make me sick. I'm going to throw up every time I see a Christmas card. Then do life only. Okay, then do life only. And when your Learjet hits the mountain, money goes poof, and you laugh, you're kind of chuckling in the grave a little bit, right? You can do that, but you don't have to do that. Most people say, well, Stan, I don't want to do life only, lose all the money. You don't have to do that. Are we clear on that? I keep going over that because people keep calling me and saying, that fallacy. What's interesting? A lot of advisors don't even know that, and agents. They think everything's life only, okay? By the way, if your Learjet hits the mountain or if your Bentley runs into a tree, before the income starts, 100% of the money goes to the family. 100% of the money goes to the family, okay? So you can structure your policy that the annuity company never gets a penny. Let's be very clear. So those are the three things: lifetime income, RMDs, lowering, and legacy, all right? So let's look at QLACs as part of your income floor. If you go to my website, StanTheAnnuityMan.com, one of the best websites on the planet, we do have a series of seminars/webinars, and one of the ones I just did was on income flooring, and we talked about how to build your income floor. What's an income floor? An income floor is the money coming in every month guaranteed that you're not going to outlive: Social Security, pension, annuities, etc. And we can even throw in rental property and dividend stocks and those type of things as well. Okay, REITs, good REITs, etc. But QLACs should be considered as part of your income floor and income later, because what you're doing is you're deferring in your IRA to a future date for your income to start. Okay, obviously you have to start it at age 85, but you can start it as early as age 71. So it's going to pay you for the rest of your life. Understand this. Listen. Put the drink down. Listen to me. QLAC lifetime income streams, and lifetime income streams for any annuity payment for that matter, is primarily based on your life expectancy at the time you take the payment. Do rates play a role? Yes, but secondary. So people are like, Stan, I'm going to time rates. You're an idiot, okay? You can't time rates because you can't time your life expectancy, right? And it works just like Social Security. The longer you wait, the higher the payment. Why? Because the less life expectancy you have, so the less payments they're expecting to pay you. Same thing with the QLAC. The longer you wait, the higher the payment because the less the life expectancy. All right? In my opinion, QLACs work perfectly to combat future inflation, and it should be part of your overall income flooring strategies. Like I said, we can ladder these things too. You can say, hey, Stan, I want to do 60 and have income start in, age 80, and for the other 65, I want to do income starting at age 85, okay? Tell me what you want to do. What do you want the money to contractually do? When do you want those contractual guarantees to start? And remember, you can add your spouse as a joint annuitant as well. And income can be, right? Okay. Legacy for your spouse. Let's go over this one more time. This is important. Now, understand that the difference, when you add a lifetime to a lifetime payout, so instead of one life is two, all right, it's going to be a lower payout, right? Okay, that just makes sense. And if your wife is significantly younger, they're going to just ignore you and base the payment on her or him. That's just reality of life expectancy. And most females are expected to outlive their male counterparts. I think that's evil, but it's true, right? I mean, it is what it is. So to me, legacy income for your spouse is a big, big deal. And it's based on life expectancy. So at the time you start the payment, they're going to really look at the younger of the two, even though they're based on two lives, and look at the life expectancy then. If one of you, like one spouse has an IRA and the other spouse has an IRA, there's nothing wrong with each of you doing a QLAC and not adding the spouse. And when we run QLAC quotes for you, I have no problem sending you both. So you can lay it all out on the table and go, okay, this is with me only. This is with me and you. This is you only. This is with me and you. That's the way you should look at it. Look at all options and choose the guarantee that makes sense. And remember, after you die, if you set it up joint, the income continues uninterrupted and unchanged for the rest of your spouse's life. Okay, and then we can set it up so that 100% of the money goes to the listed beneficiaries of the policy. By the way, that's called joint life with cash refund. Let's break that down. Joint life is going to pay you joint life, regardless of how long you live. Cash refund means that whatever's left in the account goes lump sum to the listed beneficiary of the policy. All right, so the annuity company does not keep a penny. So we were talking about cash refund. Cash refund is the allowable in a DIA account that's not an IRA. You can do what's called installment refund, but in a QLAC within an IRA, it has to be cash refund. But this is so that the lump sum goes to the beneficiaries upon your death, and if it's joint life, upon the second spouse's death. So we've kind of gone over that. I've beaten that into the ground, but I want you to understand that it is fully principal protected. You're transferring the risk to pay them for the rest of your life, but you know that money you're giving to the annuity company to pay you for the rest of your life, somebody in your family is going to get it if you decide to set up life with cash refund or joint life with cash refund. And by the way, if you're outlive your life expectancy and you get a statement from the QLAC company that says, hey, my QLAC's worth zero, who cares? They're on the hook to pay regardless of how long you live. Because remember, QLAC payments and any lifetime income stream payment from an annuity is a combination of return of principal plus interest, okay? So here, let's go over benefits and limitations of QLACs. I love doing this with all products. If you read my books, you know that I do this. They're not sales pitches. These are contracts. You can't polish them up. I'm going to say this, my wife's going to grimace when she listens to the replay. You can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter. Think about that. But the point is, all annuity products have good and bad. Okay, so let's go over the good of a QLAC. I can't believe I said that, but you can steal that from me if you want to. You can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter. Just go with that. My daughters love that. QLAC benefits guaranteed lifetime income. It combats inflation. We talked about that. No annual fees, no moving parts. Does the selling agent get paid? Yes, we get paid from the annuity company reserves. You'll see 100% of your money go to work, okay? You can add your spouse as a joint annuitant. You can lower your RMDs. You can choose when you want to start your income in between 71 and 85. And these babies are transparent, simple, and easy to understand. I always tell people, if you can't explain it to a 9-year-old, and this is no offense to the 9-year-olds, then you shouldn't buy an annuity. And that would pretty much do away with a lot of the indexed and variable annuity sales, because I'm going to tell you, there's about 5 people on the planet that understand those things, and I think I know the other 4. I'm going to tell you, they are complex. But QLAC's basic. Here's the money. Here's the guaranteed income. No annual fees, no moving parts. What are the limitations? Let's spend some time here, because you need to know this. If it sounds too good to be true, it is every time with an annuity. So what are the limitations? In my opinion, the limitation is the 125, right? For those of you players out there that got the $1 million IRA, the $2 million IRA, 125 is just a non-event. However, it is what it is. It's the rules that are in place. It will go up, but to me, that's a limitation. Here's one, no liquidity or surrender. You can't, and by the way, they, meaning the IRS and the Treasury Department, put this in place so that people wouldn't buy a QLAC and then call me up and go, you know what, Stan, forget it. I just want to buy a boat. Send me the money. No, the IRS, by the way, that's my client voice. That's pretty good. But by the way, the IRS and the Department of Treasury did not want people to pivot. They did not want people to change their minds. They wanted people to commit to putting a guaranteed income stream in place, okay, that would supplement Social Security, because Social Security was never put on the planet to be everybody's 100% pension plan, even though that's turned into that, right? So no liquidity or surrender value. You are going to get all your money back, or somebody in your family is, if you structure it that way, but you can't pivot and say, you know what, Stan, I don't want to do that anymore. Send me my 125 back. No, not going to happen. You can change the start date of the income stream to start it earlier, but that's a limitation. Here's another one that people just get hung up on. I get it, totally get it. You don't have to send me the emails and the flow charts. There's no documented growth during deferral time. Now, we all understand that if you give money to an annuity company and they hold on to it, they're going to enhance the payment. They call it, I call it cooking. The longer the money cooks there, the more they're going to pay you. But if you said, Stan, I'm going to buy a QLAC at age whatever and defer it to age 75, and you died at age 74, then your beneficiaries are going to get $125,000 back. There's no there's no interest that you can track internally. And then to some people, that makes the top of their head explode, because once again, they are looking at a QLAC and comparing it to an investment. It's not. It's a contract. And this is a limitation, okay? And you can only change the start date one time. So I don't think that's a big limitation. The biggest limitation for most people is that no documented growth. You just got to get over it. It is what it is. Know this. There's an implied growth amount, meaning that if you didn't buy QLAC and you had your money in investments, it'd have to grow by this to create this type of income stream. Okay? It is what it is. But there's no interest rate that they attach to it that you can track. All right? So how do you get a QLAC quote? This is simple. Okay, people? This is simple. I need your dates of birth. By the way, you can just go to the site if you want to, stayintheannuityman.com. Which is the easy way. We got to get a QLAC quote, and you got a little forms in there. You can fill it out. But if you don't want to do that, you can just email this to me. Dates of birth, state of residence, because all annuities are regulated at the state level, not the federal level. So not all products and carriers are available in every state. So when they come out with a QLAC, they have to go to each, they meaning the annuity company, have to go to each state and get it approved. I know that sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's true, and that's the way the annuity industry works, especially on the fixed level. And QLACs are fixed annuities. They're not securities. They're not overseen by the SEC, et cetera. Amount of money, 25% of your IRA or $125,000. Remember that rule. And then when you want the income to start. Remember, you can change it, but we need to have a start date to run it. Okay? And earliest is 71, latest is 85. And then tell me, hey, life only, I hate my family. Or you might not hate your family, you just want the highest payout. But let's just look at it like that. Or life with cash refund. Stan, I want 100% of the money to stay in the family, but I want a lifetime income guarantee. Okay? So what you're going to get from the QLACs, what it's going to show you is a monthly. When I send you the grid, and people say, well, Stan, which is the best QLAC out there? What's the best? I don't know. I represent everybody out there. I'm going to quote all QLAC carriers that are in your state. Then I'm going to send you the top ones that have and QLAC quotes, like all annuity quotes, are like a gallon of milk. Every 7 to 10 days, things change, okay? So it is what it is. They're commodities. You got to shop all carriers. Don't get fixated on one carrier unless your son or brother-in-law works there. Monthly lifetime income starting at the date you indicated, it will show that. Depending on the state, the top 3 to 10 guarantees for your state of residence, it'll list the carriers, it'll list the ratings, it'll list the monthly. We usually run these on a monthly income for life basis, so you'll see all of that. Like I said, AM Best, but please use the Comdex rankings as well. And remember, 100% of the QLAC income is taxable. People ask me all the time, Stan, can I have the QLAC income stay in my IRA? No, you cannot. When you turn on QLAC income, it comes out of your IRA. You pay taxes on it, 100% ordinary income, and it is what it is. So, you can't defer the defer. So people ask me all the time, QLAC income comes out of the IRA, but it fully covers the RMD for that QLAC asset, all right? We depending on the carrier, we do online or hard copy applications. Everything's encrypted and secure. Everything's done FedEx and phone by the staff. We've got the best staff in the world. So, it is what it is. We never, ever, ever share information or sell it. It stays encrypted in our database. And if you're in our database, you know that we don't bug you. We treat you like a professional and a grown-up. Everything's fully confidential. Just to go backwards, I'm going to close with a couple things, so hang in there with me. Life expectancy determines the payout. Okay? So don't say, well, Stan, your rates are low, I don't want to buy a QLAC. What do you mean rates are low? You mean your life expectancy? Okay, yes, interest rates play a role. The 10-year Treasury is the bogey that you need the United States 10-year Treasury. But it's going to have to significantly move to move the needle. Okay, so you can time it if you want. You can try to be a guru if you want. You can try to be Michael Milken if you remember who he was if you want. But life expectancy drives the train. Understand that. All right, it's the primary pricing mechanism. Interest rates do play a role because what is the combination of the income combination for all lifetime income guarantees is return of principal plus interest, right? So the return of principal plus interest part obviously is determined on and primarily based on life expectancy. So just remember that and try not to be a guru. We talked about cooking the money at the annuity companies. The longer they hold on to it, the higher the payment. In the industry, there are some people with they got the elbow protectors and they got the ascot and they're smoking the pipe. They call it implied longevity yield. I love that. I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina, okay, on a farm. We call it cooking. In the South, we call it cooking. The longer you let the money cook, the more they're going to pay you. That's the way my dad would say it, right? That's the bottom line. That's what implied longevity is. But for all you quants out there that want to run the algorithm, is how much money would you have to earn on an annual basis, compounded, and then annuitize. Problem with that is you'll know what the annuitization rates would be at the end. But that's the point, is they do cook the money. They do enhance the payout the longer you let them hold on to the money. And by the way, annuity companies are smart. They sit around the big marble building and they ask the same questions you ask, and they make sure that there is no arbitrage and there is no pricing mistake. There is no timing that you can time it. Okay, there is no 200-day moving average. You either like the guarantee or you don't. There's no good time or perfect time to buy an annuity or a QLAC for that matter. You just got to look at the guarantee. If the guarantee makes sense and you want to transfer the risk, you want to lower the RMDs, you want to put your spouse on there for lifetime income, then it might be for you. And like I said, there's no visual interest rate on the QLAC statement. So if you put $125,000 in, and you're going to turn the income on at age 80 and you die at age 78, your family gets $125,000 back. You shouldn't be mad about that because you're dead. Why would you be mad when you're dead? It's impossible to be mad when you're dead because you're dead. But I know a lot of you out there be like, that makes me mad because I didn't get any interest. Hey, it is what it is. That's the way the QLAC is structured, okay? So here's rational reasons, because I'm rational, right? QLACs are will do. They're contractual guarantees, right? You understand what they will do, not what they might do. There's no might do with a QLAC. It's a will do. They provide guaranteed income. They transfer risk. You can set it up joint. It's contractual. It's a pension. It is what it is. All right, so the questions you have to ask is, Do you want to add your loving spouse? Or see that quote? My advice is, if you're up in the air, look at both. Look at a life only. Look at joint life. And if your spouse is treating you bad, look at them and say, hey, I'm going with my life. Forget you. No, don't do that. That's not good. Marital bliss is always a good thing. But we can show you both life, your life and cash refund, or your life only, or joint life and cash refund and joint life only, whichever one you want. Okay, so remember, those are the two primary choices. I have no problem showing you both. There's no obligation, and we're not going to chase you down. And you're a grown-up. You can make your own decision on your own money. We're just here to help you and provide you with the best quotes and the best information on the planet. And then you got to decide when you want the income to start and how much money, what do you qualify for, 125 or 25%. Remember, all annuities, there's no perfect answers, just bad sales pitches. It should be part of your income floor. It should be used to combat inflation. It should be used for joint lifetime income, to reduce your RMDs, and to protect your principal. Here are the next steps. Get the book. If you don't have the book, get the book. If you threw the first one away that I sent to you, call me back. I'll get you another book, because I got a different picture on the back, and it's a lot better of me. I'm a lot thinner. But yeah, get the book. Call me and say, hey, Stan, I need the book again. I need the QLAC Owner's Manual. And for that matter, if you don't have any of the other ones, I'll send them all to you. All right? So email me your physical mailing address, stan@stantheannuityman.com. That's easy to understand. And then let me go shop some QLACs for you. Let's look at that as part of your income floor using your traditional IRA. So you can email me the specific details, or go to the website, and on the right-hand side of that website, where there's another stunning picture of me on the webpage, front part of that webpage, you do QLAC quotes. You can click that link and you can fill it in there, and we can do that as well. So we'll shop all carriers for that. Right now there's around 20 carriers-ish around that offer QLACs, and they're all the big boys. There's not some directional Northeast Southern company out there. I love Northeast Southern. I don't think it's a company. But the point is, all the names you've heard of play in the QLAC game. They really do. And we'll let you make your decision on your own time frame and on your own terms. You'll hear from if you want to talk to me, you can schedule a call. Other than that, I'm not going to call you. Okay? We'll just do some email. Check your email, and we'll be in touch that way. And we'll handle all the paperwork if you want to do that. Remember, with all annuities, there's a free look time period. You get to actually kick the tires, hold the policy, and if you don't want it, you can get your money back, and you don't have to give them a reason. But everything that we do is online, phone, and FedEx. I'm licensed in all 50 states. Okay? All 50 states. So here's my contact information. If you don't have it already, you can call me. I know that's an unbelievably attractive picture. As my youngest daughter, who's going to college, says, hanging out with you, Dad's pretty cool, because you can see a midlife crisis real time. And she's probably right about that, but, it is what it is. My wife's been with me for 29 years, and she can't leave under contract. So with that being said, we're doing these webinars, also called Staminars, every month. I appreciate you being with us. Do me a favor and get a QLAC quote. It won't hurt you a bit. It won't hurt us a bit. And there's no obligation, no cost to do that. And we would love to help you establish more of your income floor using your IRA. My name is Stan, the Annuity Man, and that is the QLAC webinar. Please contact me for the books and contact me for quotes, and I'll see you on the next Stamina.